Thank you for the warm welcome. It's always great when you hadn't lost yet. So that part's good. So, first off, I want to thank Chancellor Woodson and Boo. And Boo was just phenomenal throughout the process. I know it didn't go as fast as some people wanted it to go, but we, it was done right. It was done right. It was very, very thorough. And I can't say enough good things about Boo and how he handled things and his thoroughness and just his communication. He had a really good way about him where he knew when to communicate and knew when it was game time and to not communicate. And so just very, very appreciative of him allowing us to, finish everything off correctly. I also want to thank my wife and daughter who are here. They're the real stars of the show. They make it to where we can do our jobs and do it well. And Caroline's really excited about moving and getting into gymnastics and doing some different things in Raleigh. So we're fired up. We're fired up to be here. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank everybody at McNeese. McNeese State was incredible to me, and I just want to thank Dr. Roos. Had incredible leadership there, just like we have here. And Heath Schroyer, the athletic director there. They took a chance on me. Not many people would take a chance on me 2 years ago, and they took a chance on me, And I was at McNeese because of some of the issues we had at LSU. And, you're going to get that same passion and competitive fire that I had at LSU without all the arrogance that got me in trouble. And so, I've grown and matured since then, and you're going to get the best version of me here at NC State. So I'm excited to be here at NC State. I'm excited to build a first-class program that's a consistent winner. We've got those programs all over campus. It was great. We were following Coach Moore's game yesterday on the plane. Went a little smoother than Vermont, so luckily we didn't have to follow it as closely. But I'm happy to work with Coach Moore. Most people don't know this. I took the Chattanooga job about 2 weeks after he left. All we did was buy the golf cart he had for the program. We were able to get that from him. But I took the job at Chattanooga about 2 weeks after he left for NC State. So I'm very excited to work with him and learn from him and try to mimic the consistency of their program. I also want to acknowledge all the former players that are here today. We have just a tremendous history, and you make history with great players. I mean, it's pretty simple. And so I want to acknowledge all those guys. I tell our players all the time, drink from the well, but don't forget who dug it. There's a lot of people that put a lot of hard work in to get the program and to get our university to where it is. And so very, very appreciative of those guys. And I look forward to meeting everybody and having some reunions and some yearly things where we can all get together and make sure that we're all on the same page. But I just couldn't be more excited. Our time is right now. Our time is right now. This is the first time in a while, I think, the fans, the administration, and the program, we're all on one accord. And everybody's on the same accord. Everybody's singing from the same sheet of music. And when that happens at NC State, it's going to be a reckoning for the ACC, and it's going to be a reckoning for college basketball. And it's coming. And it's coming soon. And I want to be very clear. This is not a rebuild. We're going to be in the top part of the ACC next year, and we're going to the NCAA Tournament. This is not something that's going to take a whole lot of time. All right? This is. Make sure you got that on camera. This is going to be done. This is going to be done the right way, and this is going to be done quickly. We are here to win. We're here to win the right way, and we're going to be aggressive. We're going to be committed. We're going to be thankful in all that we do. We're going to be very aggressive. We're going to play aggressive on both ends of the floor. We're going to play aggressive offensively, aggressive defensively. I'd rather tell our players whoa than go. We're going to get guys that are ready to go. We're not going to prime the pump in the morning. They're going to be ready to go, and they're going to play extremely hard, and they're going to represent our university extremely well. We're going to be committed. We're going to be committed to being the best team we can be that represents our fan base, represents our university as well as we can every night. We want to be a source of pride for everybody. When you walk in the office on Wednesday night after we play, we want you to puff your chest out. Let them know, yes, we're NC State, and we whipped you last night. You got more of them coming. And so we want folks that are committed. And then we also want folks that are thankful. look, I'm appreciative of this opportunity. I'd be lying if I told you I thought, 3 years ago that I knew an opportunity like this would come again. I did not. I did not. And I'm thankful, and I want the people in our program to be thankful to be at NC State. We're not bringing anybody in, player, coach, anybody, that doesn't feel like this is the best place in the country, and that doesn't feel like we can win and win extremely big and fast. And so we're excited. Offensively, we're going to play to our strengths. We've played fast, we've played slow, we've played in the middle. We're going to go get the best players we can and put them in the best position to be efficient and play well. Defensively, we're going to be in your face. We're going to guard. We had one of the best defenses in the country at McNeese. We had a great defense our last year at LSU, and that's going to be the staple of what we do. And then we're going to win a lot of the games within the games. Try to squeeze out 3 to 5 extra possessions every night. And look. Part of the reason that I'm excited about being here is we can recruit the best players in the country. We have a great brand, we have a great program, and the best players in the country want to be here. We got a tremendous city as well. I mean, this is one of the best programs in the country, and we're focused on making NC State They told me not to say that. I had to catch myself. I apologize. NC State. We're focused on making NC State the best NC State it can be. If we maximize everything we've got, we can compete with anybody in the country. We can compete with anybody in the country. We have to maximize what we have. And so I challenge everybody who's watching, all of our fans. Our first home game is going to be Monday, November 3rd. I want to sell out the Lenovo Center. 19,500 people. I want 19,500 people in there. We need to send a message. We need to let the state, the ACC, and the nation know the Pac is back, and we are not to be messed with. When we're all working together, we are a force. We're going to talk like a top team, we're going to act like a top team, and most importantly, we're going to win like a top team. And that's what we're here to do. I'm excited about this opportunity. We're not going to let you down. It's time to get to work and make this program the best that it can be. I'm appreciative of the opportunity. I'm appreciative of Boo Corrigan. I'm appreciative of our leadership, and we're going to hit the ground running, and we cannot wait to get started to build a consistent winner that's consistently at the top of the ACC, consistently in the NCAA Tournament, and consistently competing for the national championship here at NC State. Go Pac.
All right, we'll open the floor now for questions. There will be a microphone that Craig Hamill will hand to you. We'll point to you. State your name, please, and your affiliation.
Corey Smith with Pac Pride and 24/7 Sports. Will, you talked about the passion of the fan base, seeing everything that's happened over the past year plus with this program. How much did that kind of re-energize you and let you know that this was the place for you?
I'm not on social media, but Reed Vial, who's with me, is my social media guy. He runs all my Twitter and all that stuff. But he would show me the updates on all the Wade to State, and so we got to change it, Wade at State now. All the Wade to State. But look, we have passionate fans, and we got fans that care. And when people care, that's a good thing. Now it hurts when you lose. When folks care, but we'd much rather have it that way than being invisible and nobody caring. And so I think the fan base is a huge reason that we're here. And we want to ignite this thing. We want to sell out the Lenovo Center, and we want to sell it out consistently. We want 19,500 people in there, and we're very, very excited about the possibilities. I think everybody's hungry for a consistent winner. And that's our job, is to build a consistent winner, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to start immediately, and we're going to get it done at a fast pace.
Royal Howell, the Juice Network. Coach Will, what type of reassurance have you received from administration? I know a lot of coaches around the ACC that I've spoken to that wanted to remain anonymous have spoke about the NIL and not being able to compete with the top of the top when it comes to NIL and getting those players out of the transfer portal. We know that the transfer portal is like the wild, wild west right now. But how have you been able to kind of get that reassurance from NC State that you will be able to compete with the top of the top?
There's no doubt we're going to be able to compete nationally. You know, we have robust NIL. I mean, we're going to have the most in the country? No, but we don't need that. You know, you don't have to have the biggest house in the neighborhood. You got to have the nicest house in the neighborhood with the most manicured lawn, and you've got to know how to spend the resources properly that you have. And so I think the commitment from our collective, the commitment from the revenue share standpoint from Boo and his staff is phenomenal. And so we are going to be competitive at the upper end of this league, and we're going to be competitive nationally with our NIL package and with the revenue sharing. So, like I said, we're not, we don't have to have the most. And so, you get the most. Sometimes you spend it on, you buy some lemons out of the portal. So that's not what this is about. This is about being able to efficiently use the resources that we have, and we're going to have enough resources to efficiently build a very, very good basketball team in short order.
Noah Fleischman from the Wolfpack right on three. What's the biggest thing you've learned for the past 2 years that you can moving forward at NC State?
The great part about being at McNeese is I could try some stuff out. We changed some things offensively. I really learned, I was really more in tune with the total player experience. We probably had a little more fun than I did before everything happened. And so I think there's some stuff that we can carry over to NC State that we learned. I mean, look, I'm not the same coach I was when I started, at Chattanooga when I was 31 years old or 30 years old. I'm not the same coach I was then. And you're always growing and getting better. And I think I've grown and gotten better from VCU to LSU, certainly from LSU to being fired to McNeese, and I'll be better from McNeese to here. So this is going to get, NC State's getting the best version of Will Wade right now.
Doherty, Technician Sports. Coach, who are some of the coaches throughout your career that have had the biggest impact on you, and what have you learned from them?
I think you take from everybody that you've worked with, and so I've been fortunate to be around some great coaches. I worked with the guy Larry Shyatt, who's one of the best defensive coaches in the country. I worked for a guy Oliver Purnell, who is where we got the structure of our program from. I still run the day-to-day structure just like Coach Purnell did. I worked for a guy Tommy Amaker at Harvard. I worked at Harvard, didn't go to Harvard, but I'm sure y'all, that was pretty clear listening to me speak. I know Chancellor-elect Howell's got a daughter up there, but I learned a lot about recruiting from Coach Amaker, and then from Coach Smart, I learned a lot about just the player relationships, the interpersonal relationships, and so you take all that from those folks, and you put your own twist on it. You got to be yourself, and so that's a big part of it, and we're not trying to be anybody else or anybody that we're not, but you take those influences and put your own spin on it and go from there.
Jaden Watson-Fisher, News and Observer. Will, you talked about how much excitement there is. How do you build trust and buy-in not only with your incoming players, but with the fan base as a whole?
Well, we're gonna be engaged in the community. I mean, look, the next month to 6 weeks, we're going to be holed up getting this roster together and getting this right. But once we get that right, I mean, we're going to be out in the community. We're going to be out with the students on campus. I look forward to engaging with the students. I mean, we've got, almost 40,000 students here, 28,000 undergrad and 11,000 graduate students. And so, we look forward to getting out and engaging with the student community. We look forward to getting out and engaging with our fan base. And I'm excited about that. I think if you're accessible and you're out there, I think people are more likely to come to the games, and people feel like they've got a stake in the game. And so that's really, really important to me. And then we certainly spend a ton of time with our student athletes and a ton of time with our players, and we're gonna do that as well to build the team how we need to.
For Will and Boo, this is Brian Murphy with WRAL. Will,
Boo can start.
a similar
I've been
question.
waiting for a while. All right, go ahead.
Boo, you heard Coach Wade talk about some of the mistakes that he made and some of the arrogance that he maybe had at LSU. Who did you talk to? How did you dig into his character and what he's been through to decide that he was the right person here? And then for Will, you mentioned some of the mistakes and some of the arrogance. How have you changed as a coach and as a person from that experience?
Yeah, there's a value in gray hair, right? I've been doing this for a long time, and I know a lot of people, and consistently in talking to people about Will and how he's grown. I think the biggest thing for me was sitting with Will. I don't know if anyone knows this, but we were in Houston, based on the tracking of the airplane. We were in Houston and went down there and were able to sit, I don't know, 2.5 hours?
It was a while.
Yeah, for probably 2.5 hours, and asked a lot of really tough questions about what occurred. He was open, he was honest, talked about how he's grown, what he's looked at, how he's reflected on it, and you've heard it today. We're getting a more mature version of Will Wade. I mean, think about the idea of being 35 years old or younger as a head coach, and I imagine your head gets a little big, right, as you're going through it, and the guy wins everywhere he goes. And all of a sudden, there's a break. It's an opportunity to grow. And I think that's what we're about, and I think we're about second chances, and, as everyone's heard here today, that's what it's about. It's about what can we do to bring this program back on a consistent basis and win, and that was my takeaway leaving Houston.
I mean, I think that certainly, you don't lose your competitive fire. I've always had the competitive fire, but really what that experience taught me was just to have a little bit better perspective on things. And everything's not, life or death. Everything, every recruit's not life or death. We can move on. There's other people. Everything's not nearly as important maybe as I thought it was at the time. Now, don't get me wrong. Basketball and winning is very, very important. But I have a little bit, better perspective now on where that fits in the grand scheme of things. It was important to me to learn about the university. Before I took jobs, we were just there to win a basketball. I want to help build stuff around the university and help other departments in the university and be a good team member. And that wasn't always how you would describe Will Wade. And so, I've spent a lot of time on that. And, when you get, as Boo said, you climb up that ladder pretty quick. Well, they take those legs out on that ladder real quick too. And when you get knocked off that thing, you got to have some hard conversations with yourself. And I think that allows you to change and allows you to move forward and be better.
Tim Peeler from University Communications here at NC State. 2 of the 15 coaches that have been at NC State since World War II did not play college basketball. They're both in the Naismith Hall of Fame.
Let's make it 3.
Can you tell me what you learned by watching? And why
I'm glad you asked this question. That's why you're in University Communications. I like that.
Can you tell me what you learned and why you wanted to be on this kind of stage, why you wanted to do this motivationally when you first got started?
Yeah, so I never dreamed of doing this. My parents are here today. My mom is an educator for 30 plus years, since retired. My degree's in secondary education, history, and geography. My whole goal when I started on this was to just be a high school history teacher and coach a little high school basketball and impact some lives that way. And then, Coach Purnell, who I spoke about earlier, gave me an opportunity to be a graduate assistant at Clemson, and I stayed on. He's like, hey, if you're going to be a teacher, at least let me get you a graduate degree so you can make a little bit more money. And I stayed on as a graduate assistant, just kind of realized you can do the same service, you can do the same thing in college basketball, and I never left. So here we are.
Hello, Will. I'm Rob McLam from Inside Pack Sports. There was a lot of enthusiasm in that for many of the fan base, you were the first choice they wanted. And then when the release came out, you were quoted as calling this a destination job. And that generated much more enthusiasm. Could you please explain why you consider this a destination job?
I think we've got everything we need to win at the highest level. And I give Boo a ton of credit. He is intentionally like this, I believe, but he undersells everything. I walked in some of the facilities yesterday. I mean, it was incredible. way better than he described. But, you know, I've worked for ADs that oversell things, and you get there and you're like, what in the world is going on? You know.
He definitely undersells it to me.
That's only when he wants money to fix them. But, I mean, I was blown away. I mean, look, you've got to have facilities, you've got to have infrastructure, and getting to know Michelle and his senior staff. I mean, he's got everybody, Todd and everybody who came to the meeting. You know, he's got everybody's, you know, singing off the same page of music. We don't have somebody, you know, singing a different tune. And if you've got that, you've got great facilities, great infrastructure, you've got great fans. I mean, we should be able to do this. I mean, this should be done, and done at a high level, and done quickly. I mean, we've just got to maximize what we have. If we worry about maximizing what we have, being the best at our market on what we do, nobody can touch us. We got stuff nobody else in the country has. We're in a really fertile recruiting area. We've got a tremendous university. I mean, we've got tremendous facilities, tremendous fan base, passionate fans. I mean, what else do you need? That's on me to get it done, and we're going to get it done.
Trayvon Miles, ABC 11 here in Raleigh. Will, you talked about competing at the highest level. I know you're an ACC guy. Curious to your thoughts of, you know, triangle basketball, what you knew before you got here, and what it is that you know now that you are here in this area, with some national powers around as well.
Well, I haven't been here that long. I flew in yesterday at 3, went right to meet the team at 4, so I haven't been here that long. But certainly, you know, I grew up where I was in college, you know, in the ACC, and unfortunately, you know, when you're a coach, you know, I've watched a lot of Southland basketball lately. You know, I didn't really watch much ACC until we started preparing for Clemson in the NCAA Tournament. I watched, you know, 5 or 6 of Clemson's games to prepare for that, and I kind of knew in the back of my head. It was kind of weird. We were showing edits to our guys, and it was Clemson at NC State, and we'd have NC State's court there, and our guys all kind of knew that. It was kind of, so it was a little bit of an awkward position when I'm over there showing clips. But I mean, you know, I started to look at it there. But look, the ACC is one of the premier basketball conferences in the country. And we've got to hold up our end of the bargain. I mean, NC State, in my opinion, is one of the major brands in this league. And for ACC basketball to be good, NC State basketball needs to be good. And that's what we're going to do. And I think the better we are, the better the league will be. And like I said, I know we've got some bully neighbors and that sort of thing, but we're not worried about them. If we worry about ourselves, all that other stuff will take care of itself. And we're focused on ourselves, and, you know, we want them to turn around and be chasing us. And so that's the focus. If we do what we're supposed to do, that's what's going to happen.
Hey, Coach. Charlie Gribble, Pack Pride, 24/7 Sports. You mentioned the ACC Conference as a whole.
How many people y'all got here?
We got a lot. Yeah, but the ACC Conference as a whole has lost a lot of big-name coaches. Just kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on that, and that played a role into your decision to come here, and where you see yourself fitting into the ACC.
They just gained one.
I mean, look, I like to compete against the best. I don't care who's coaching the other team. I mean, we want to compete. We want to play the best. Now, dude, I mean, you know, you'd be dumb not to recognize that Jim Boeheim's left, Leonard Hamilton's left, Jim Larenega's left, Coach Williams has left, Coach Krzyzewski's left. I'm sure Coach Bennett's left Virginia. I mean, you'd be crazy not to recognize that all those guys, you know, that all those guys those jobs have turned over in recent memory. But you know, look, we want to compete against the best. We're gonna challenge ourselves in the ACC. We're gonna challenge ourselves in the non-conference. Like we want to compete against the best. You can't be the best playing a bunch of bad teams. You know, you get better by playing the best teams in the country. At McNeese State last year, we played the 21st ranked non-conference schedule in the country. That was at McNeese. Played the 21st ranked non-conference schedule in the country. Like, we're going to play the best.